All right, it's been almost about 2 weeks, but we are live once again. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Chris, and this is We Love Comics. Apologize for the long in between making videos. Those few that watch my videos know that I had my cat Shy almost die and almost lost him 3 times, but we've got him back to being normal. And we also had two other cats that needed medical attention at the vets. So it's been quite an interesting 2 weeks. And also, for about 4 days, my mother visited from New York. So my attention was elsewhere. So forgive me, and I'm sure the few people that watch will understand. So while I'm waiting for people to see that I am back and doing a live video, because this is going to show the 4 key comics that I have chosen this month to send in the PGX to get graded. I always do my predictions of what I think the grades are going to be, of course, after pressing and dry cleaning. Keep in mind, if you've never used PGX, if you look in the description, or you could just write it down, if you use the code We Love Comics Free Press, when you send in 10 or more books to PGX for the first time, you can get one of the books pressed for free. This is not on their invoice and it's not on their website. You do have to write it in manually. So it's We Love Comics uh, Graders Notes. So I would recommend picking one. Otherwise, they'll just pick one for you. But you have to send 20 of them in. You have to write it on the invoice. And they'll press one of them and dry clean it for free, which is, depending on the book, anywhere from a $20 to $50 value. So go check them out. And also, if you want to add graders notes on the back of the slabs, because it was my idea, and the owner of PGX, Daniel Patterson, was kind enough to actually implement this. And again, not on the website and not on their invoice. So this is exclusive to We Love Comics viewers. Use the code We Love Comics Graders Notes, and for $5 per slab, you can have the Graders Notes imprinted directly on the back label, where you never have to worry about losing them, and you'll always have them there. Especially if you're going to sell a book, people will have an easier time to know what is wrong with the book or what is right with the book. So, with that being said, if you want to critique the AI art, by all means, please do. Let's give a shout out to my paid Patreon members. If you want to support my channel, because like I've always said, probably 95 to 98% of the contributions go towards vet bills and animal care, because I take care of anywhere from 17 to 20 stray cats. I have one of the stray cats in the house right now that we've been taking care of because he was sick. Another one we just finished healing, and like I said, Shy is back to as normal as he's going to get for 16, but he's doing very well. But he definitely escaped death like 3 times. It was pretty challenging. But if you support me on patreon.com/we love comics, no matter what amount you contribute, it's appreciated. You'll get your name up on this board, shouted out every video I do. And once I get to 20 paid members, if I ever make it there, that'd be awesome. If not, it is what it is. You're appreciated nonetheless. But if I get to 20, there's contest giveaways that I want to give away. So shout out to Sith Lord Michael B, Kevin W, Dan L, Herbert R, Annabelle, and Jason B, Kim N, Blessed, Joey S, Ashton H, Kendall Kid Comics on YouTube, at Scott WU077 on Instagram, Stephen L. Turk Author on Facebook, and at Silver Age Server _comics on Instagram. So if you have any of those social networks, go follow them and say hello. Speaking of which, Silver Age Surfer is here. Good to see you. I'm not going to show the actual book. This has nothing to do with the 4 books I'm showing. But anybody that is going to be, well, has been ordering from my auctions, this particular book, I'll just say shout out to Peter. I won't show what it is just in case the person's going to do an unboxing video, but your book is going to be going out today because you did pay in full, so thank you for that. And I will be doing another auction soon, and I got 3 major key books coming that I was able to acquire, and one of them I got probably for about 30% its retail value at this point. So I'm excited to show those. So stay tuned. So I will be doing another auction soon. And remember, as you see right here, look on the bottom of the screen here. All paid Patreon members now get early access to any of my future comic auctions. What that means is a week before I do an auction, I do a sneak peek video where anybody can watch that and they can make an offer on any of the comics before the auction to prevent it from going on to the auction. Anybody that's a paid Patreon member gets access to the list a week before the sneak peek video. So if you're especially one of the people that's ordered from me before on one of my live auctions and orders from me repeatedly, and I have many that do, it pays to join and become a paid Patreon member because you get a week advance notice before anybody else can even see what is for sale. So you can actually snipe those by making an offer. And if I accept it, it never sees the light of day of the auction. So you never have to worry about missing an auction, being outbid on something you wanted, or getting into a bidding war with somebody who wants it just as bad as you. So patreon.com/, we love comics. All right, since we got that all out of the way, let's show the books. All right, so the first one, always when you have a key book like this, it's not a major key, but still, first appearance of the Vision in Avengers number 57. This is considered a classic cover. I remember buying one of these when I was a teenager, didn't know what the character was. I was just when I first started collecting, but I was browsing through the bins and I just really liked this cover. So probably why they consider it a classic cover. But since Vision has basically, we don't know if he's finished because the last we saw is him in WandaVision where he turned into the white version of the Vision. So who knows what they're going to do with it. If they do, I'm sure they will. But this book has gone down in value, and that's the time to pick it up because unlike stocks, these cannot go to zero. So take advantage of dips, especially if it's something you've always wanted to add, but always said when it got too expensive, oh, it's out of my price range. Well, now that it's in a lot more people's price range, my question would be, why aren't people picking it up? So you can't complain about it being expensive and not being able to buy it, and then not buying it when the price goes down. But do whatever you want. I paid a grand total of $70.62 for this book. That includes eBay taxes and shipping and handling. You can see the major defect is a large chunk of the corner is missing, but it's not like a fourth of the book, a third of the book, or anything like that. But it will lower the grade. Everything else looks pretty darn good for this book. If that was intact, this would probably be a 6.0. But obviously, that's not going to be the case with this piece missing. I'm going to predict roughly between a 2.5 and a 3.5. I'm not sure how much they're going to take off on it because, it is a piece missing, but it doesn't affect the story. And it's not like, not like a third of the book has been removed. So we'll see when it comes back. But for $70, you know, that's why it's always good to get deals. Same with this one. It's another character that's seen a lot of time in the MCU. Probably not finished. Who knows? Maybe they might do a reboot of this character after Secret Wars. But this is another book where the prices have gone down, and I see that as a buying opportunity. This, of course, is Captain America number 117, first appearance of the Falcon, where he had an actual Falcon in the beginning, not some drone robot like you saw in the MCU. But I absolutely love this cover. It's just the contrast of colors, especially with Captain America's shield there going against his green and orange costume, which thank God they didn't use that in the MCU. It's just, I really like this cover. And again, the price is going down to the point where I think it's hit near the bottom. But I always say, even if a book hasn't, there's always deals out there. I show it all the time. And like I said, the 3 books that are going to be coming, they haven't mailed them out yet because I literally just won one last night at 1 in the morning. And the other one I paid for earlier yesterday. So they're probably not going to be mailed out until like Tuesday or Wednesday. But the prices I got for those, when you hear the prices, you're going to be blown away. And these are all key issues. So never be discouraged just because something is even still expensive that you can't find deals. But I paid a grand total of $138.55 for this book. This is a mid-grade book. It's actually in pretty darn good condition. So I'm going to say, again, after pressing and dry cleaning, between probably a 4.5 and a 5.5. Now, I didn't mention the pages on the other one, so I'm going to say it's off-white for the Avengers 57. This one's creamed off-white, in my opinion. Of all the things that I miss, it seems like page colors I don't always get right, but hey, if that's the worst part of what I get wrong, that's perfectly fine. But again, key book, still worth getting. Probably still going to use the Falcon. They'll probably reboot him, but definitely a character that they could still utilize. And for the prices, definitely worth picking up. This one was an absolute steal. This was not an auction. This was a buy it now. And it had a best offer, but I was like, there is no way I'm even going to attempt to make a best offer on this because when you hear the price, you'll understand why. Now, again, it is a lower grade. Now, it's going to be hard to see, but It looks like somebody wrote like a Bible verse or something from this point up. So you might not get it because a lot of it's very faded. So I don't know how much that's going to do to the actual downgrading. And you can see there's a little piece missing there. So this is a lower grade book. But like if you go from here, you could barely see the words. But if you zoom in, give it a second, you could see this like a paragraph with about 8 to 10 lines. But because it's so faded, how much will that really take away from the book? But it does have, some little wear and tear, not major amounts. The book colors look pretty darn good. But I paid, with shipping and handling and taxes, $36.38 for this book. You can't even get a coverless version of this book for that price. This is X-Men #3, first appearance of the Blob. Again, not a major villain or anything, but still early X-Men, a known character that has been used in the MCU. I doubt they'll use him again, but hey, you never know with reboots. Anything is possible with the X-Men movie coming, but still, a good, desirable book to get, still can get fairly reasonable. The average person is not going to get this for $36, but they are out there. If I can get them, that means anybody can get them. I'm going to predict between a 2.5 and a 3.5 because I think, again, the major damage is all the writing, but because it's faded, I don't know how much they're going to take away, but we'll find out. Off-white pages, but again, that could get a 0.5, and for $36, I'm going to do well. Speaking of which, this is a book I've always wanted. It's not a major key or anything like that, but it's an early issue, and I've wanted to have the almost the first 20 in a run, and this is one of the books I never had, but because it wasn't a major key or anything, the prices that people wanted for it, I just was not willing to pay, so I always passed up for it. But another best a buy it now came along, and I was able to acquire a nice mid-grade, actually a little bit higher than mid-grade, Amazing Spider-Man #10. And don't let those wrinkles fool you. That is not on the comic. That is actually, because this isn't a top loader, but there's a bag and board. The bag is wrinkly. So that's not the comic. But look at this book. It is the first appearance of the Enforcers, but that's not exactly anything that's has been used or probably will ever be used. But again, you never know in the MCU. I mean, they made a talking tree that was originally a really high level thinking alien monster that was supposed to be just one of those one and done creatures into a beloved character. And of course, we're talking about Groot. Who knows? But Amazing Spider-Man 10, this is again in higher grade. I paid only, where is it? $225.34 for this book. That's about what a 0.5 to a 1.0 of this book sells for. But this is, again, look at the colors. Look at it over here. Look at it from this perspective. What about here? Now, if you know what movie I'm referencing, when somebody's doing like this, showing somebody something, if you can tell me what it was and what movie, I'll give you a hint. There's two movies in a series of movies, so it happened twice. So technically you could get it right twice. But it's somebody doing something like this. It's like, look at it from over here, look at it over here. So let's see in the comment section who can tell me what scene and what movie that was from. Two different movies, same genre. But this is, in my opinion, at least a 5.5, but I'm saying between a 5.5 and a 6.5. I would not be shocked if this got a 7. That's how nice this book is. I mean, again, look at the colors. There's a few, like there's one color break increase there, but I mean, you're allowed to have that even 7.0s. But other than that, I mean, it could use a pressing. But again, those wrinkles are not on the comic. I mean, there is a 29 written on there, but that's not going to do major amounts. Off-white to white pages. So for $225 for this book, if it comes back a 5.0, this is a $600 book. So again, not a major book, but still, you can't go wrong in the top 10 of Amazing Spider-Mans. So those are the 4 books. So the one I just showed, Amazing Spider-Man #10, I'm predicting between a 5.5 and a 6.5, off-white to white pages. X-Men #3, and yes, I did spend a grand total of $36.98 for this book, including shipping and taxes. I'm predicting a 2.5 to 3.5 off-white pages. Captain America, number 117, first appearance of the Falcon. Nice mid-grade book. I paid 138.55, predicting between a 4.5 and a 5.5 creamed off-white. And the first one I showed, Avengers number 57, first appearance of the Vision. Again, that's going to be the major damage there. So it's going to, in my opinion, I think it's going to drop it down between a 2.5 and a 3.5 with off-white pages. But again, I only spent $70.62 for that book. So you get good deals. It doesn't matter what grades. Deals are out there. Please find them. So let's see what we got. We got Silver Age Surfer in the chat. He says, damn, $36. That's amazing. No, well, that's X-Men, so it's actually astonishing. But I'll take that and appreciate it. Constipated in Sin City. Always love his name. Is here. Says, hey Chris, how's the family? Much better. We dodged some bullets. My cat Shy, who I've had now for over 16 years, was critical and almost died 3 times. It got to the point where I literally had to take a not a needle, but a little syringe and force feed him some liquid and food because he had no strength to even lift his head up. So it was pretty sketchy at one point, but now he's actually back to normal. He's running and jumping, he's playing, he's meowing for food. So we dodged a bullet. So and by the way, to the 2 or 3 people that actually sent me messages while I was gone, I really appreciate that. Um, but yeah, that's why I haven't made a video in a little while. Comic Addict says, "What's up, Chris?" A lot of good stuff, by the way, and I appreciate that. And I'll show them because, like I said, I got 3 big boy books coming that I ended up getting for steals. One of them happened last night. I was about to go to bed. It was roughly around 1 to 1:30 in the morning. I'm like, you know what? Let me just check and see what's ending on eBay. And this book was only 3 minutes left. And I'm telling you, this book is easily, well, I won't get into it until I show it once I get it. But I could not believe the price that it was at with only 3 minutes left. And I knew I was going to win it, and I won it, and I paid probably 30% of its value as of now. And there are movies coming. And I'll give you a hint, it is a first appearance, but I'll let you guys think about it. But I'm going to have an auction soon because when I buy a couple of books, I mean, even though I use PayPal credit, which I always recommend people to do as long as you pay it and can pay it, you get 6 months to pay for something instead of paying for it right away, which I love. And sometimes they give you up to a year. I've had one where it was 2 years you can take to pay for it. But I will be doing an auction soon. So join my Patreon and you'll get advance notice before anybody else. Let's do today's surprise subscriber shout outs. Constipated Sin City says, God bless his heart. Yeah. And his heart was one of the problems. He's got a heart murmur. He's got some arthritis. It ended up that he swallowed some plastic and it went through his system, luckily, and it came out, which we had to literally pull it out, which was not fun, but it caused internal damage. Luckily, not to the point where it cut open anything, but it created a lot of inflammation, and he ended up having a super fever and became dehydrated, and he was basically fighting off what his body viewed as some kind of attack. So it was come and go. There was literally like even when I would literally have to bring him a tiny bit of food like 6 or 7 times to get him just enough to eat, because otherwise he would have just passed away. And he means too much to me for me to just let him go without fight. So he made it through and he's back to playing and everything. And it just shows if you don't give up on those you love, sometimes good things can come out of it. So thank you for the message. So since we only have a few people in the live chat, we got Constipated in Sin City, Comic Addicts, and Silver Age Surfer _ comics. All 3 of you are today's surprise subscriber shoutouts. You guys know what to do. Once the video uploads, you can leave a link to either your YouTube channel if you have one, social network if you prefer that, or if you sell anything on any social network or Amazon, Etsy, eBay, you could post the link. I will verify it first. So remember, if you post a link, it's not going to show up because it'll go directly to spam. That keeps all the spammers and people from putting inappropriate links onto the channel. So if you do see a link, it means it has been verified and approved. Go support them, say hi, join their YouTube channel, like their Instagram posts or Facebook pages, and show the community what it's all about. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I'm going to go mail out this paid auction that somebody, well, I'll give a shout out to Peter. Your book's going to be sent out today, priority mail, so you should get it probably within 2 or 3 business days. And just make sure if you're using my auctions, make sure you check your payments are up to date to avoid any late fees. And we'll have some more videos coming soon. So thank you for your patience and understanding. Thank you for your kind words. If you want to hit subscribe or unsubscribe, that's perfect. I'll leave it up to you. You're welcome here anytime, regardless of your choice of what you do. Same thing as if you thumb it up or thumb it down. You're free to do what you want as long as it makes you happy doing it. And I'll be back next video. So thanks for watching, everybody. Have a wonderful day. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, it's not you, it is not I, it is We Love Comics. Have an awesome day. And don't forget to have your trolls spayed or neutered.